Good afternoon from Sydenham Park for the game Sydenham versus Burnside. With me today is our lead commentator. We've got Nick Thomson. How are you, Nick?
Yeah, very well, thank you, Neil. It's shaping up to be a great day. Weather's come right, and Sydenham Park's looking nice as it always does year round. So look for a bit of expansive running rugby.
Yeah, your dad has already rightly said that we've got to look out for divots getting picked up so that the cricketers don't have a bad summer. But other than that, there was actually a little bit of wind in that top pennant there, so there's a bit of a sou'wester coming across the top of the ground, but it won't be too disrupting, I don't think. So we've got the teams here. Nick, which one do you want to talk through?
Yeah, I mean, Sydenham strong forward pack as they've had all season, but this game with the inclusion of Johnny McNichol at the back, providing a wee bit of experience and direction, he's going to really help out those wingers and, drive the power of that midfield as well. And Roman Keno, solid young 10, and Kieran McClay at 9. He's been versatile and impressive all season, so it's going to be good to see him go again. He's one of the finds of the season, I think, and his form has been pretty incredible.
That's right. It's a pretty strong team. We were talking about it a bit earlier, but they have been lucky with injuries that most of them have been injured during the season, have come back and got back into it. Good to see you being ex-St Martins like my boys. Zach Spain on the wing representing the old school. And we were just talking about, he's a good, solid player there. Maka Whanganuku's on the other wing, for those of you who read the Canterbury list that didn't have anyone in the number 11 position. Some of those substitutes, any of those you know very well there, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Logan Williams, who's been playing well at fullback really for the whole season. He's just a bit unfortunate that he has a Crusader to come in and pip him out for this one. But he's, been displaying excellent form. Obviously Max Hughes as well. He's a household name around Sydenham Rugby, and look for him to make a great impact whenever he gets on. Then a couple of other boys. You got Jacob. He's just is very versatile and loose forwards. Then a couple of good solid front rowers to round it out. So overall, very well balanced and strong side, which you'd be thinking going on form should have enough. But finals rugby, you can never tell. A couple of opportunist moments, and the game can go either way. So even though it's a strong team on paper, Sydenham still needs to go out there and do a job.
Yes, we lost to one of the lower teams and summoned it quite badly. So hopefully they don't repeat that. You can see the Burnside list there. We were commenting on that both of us have not really know any of the players in that team. They are obviously doing a bit of a turnover, and they'll be keen to have a good game here and try and get further into the competition. Just nearly near kickoff. The Sydenham boys are just coming out now. Kieran leading them, and I presume Connor Smith is there somewhere. I can't quite see him at the moment. But Kieran McClay bring them out with Torian Barnes in behind.
Yeah, it's been great to see Torian get back to his form as well. He's such an asset having at the back of the scrum there, and to see how he's come on in the last few rounds, he's going to be the difference whether Sydenham side can go deeper into the competition. So having his size, his leadership there, and his experience is going to be vital.
Indeed. So it looks like Sydenham will be playing with that bit of wind I was talking about, and a bit of a sou'wester. And we'll see how they use that. I noticed those playing in the back with Max Hughes and Logan Williams are featuring this year, doing a much lower kick, not going quite as high when they're going for ground. And that has been quite effective. Usually Max has been quite adroit at getting the ball between two players. We'll see how they go on that today, but it's going to be Burnside kicking off. So I'll let you lead off on the game gets underway, Nick.
Worries. Look for Kieran McClay to be controlling a lot from 9 and take a wee bit of pressure off Hunter at 10 as well. As we were saying before, he's got such good experience and his ability to control the game well. Today's just going to be a great opportunity for him to take the lead. And with Max Hughes coming on as we get things underway. Comfortably. Ball is eventually claimed just inside the 22. Looking to get their pods involved early, get early touches. Kieran's going to look to clear from the base. Got good distance on that, and he's
Yeah, that's Southwester, isn't it? Right and behind that one. That's Sydenham into the attack.
good solid start from Sydenham. Exactly what they want. Get into their processes early, get into their structure.
Oh.
And another good steal. Big Spain, a strong carry. Go to Vidaladu down the short side. Dominant ball in hand as always. Get up, 5 in from touch. Barnes, strong carry as they switch back. Curtis McDonald, he's been just a handful all season, so look for him to get involved early on, especially on those short sides. And continues to rumble forward. Looking to create. Johnny Medical stepping into that first receiver position. Johnny Medical looking to get involved early. Looking to play on the wide channels nice and early. It's good confidence from Sydenham here. Up. On carry. He's intercepted. And that is what we're talking about, finals rugby. Against the run of play, anything can happen, so...
You were right, Nick.
It's although Sydenham were controlling that for phase on phase, it only takes one moment.
Yes, I haven't noticed Sydenham use as sort of the second line of attack very much, but they started to there, and then unfortunately the pass was easily picked off.
It was almost we were getting a wee bit impatient. I mean, we had accumulated a lot of phases and still hadn't made a lot of territorial gain. And I think Sydenham felt the need to risk that wide ball, and Burnside, the good winger, was open to it, picked it off, and ran it in. So Sydenham's just going to need to regroup here, and go back to what works. Vision lined up. No problems with that as Burnside take a 7-0 lead.
We've got Asher working on the on all controls really today, including miking up the referee. So we'll see if we get any feedback from that.
We're outside the 22 from Burnside. Can't imagine Burnside spending too much time down here unless they look to get rid of this. Back your defence again. There hasn't got a lot on that, and if Mucky goes up, good take. Oh, he's unfortunately dropped it, but cleaned up, got the penalty.
Yeah, caught in the air, I think.
They will kick to the line here, back there forwards.
And Keanu should be good at the throw-ins. He had a heck of a lot of throw-ins last week when it was his 50th game, and most of them were pretty good.
Yeah, he also got on the score sheet, didn't he?
Yeah.
For his 50th. He was looking very elusive out there.
Hocklehurst with the take.
First Sydenham will back themselves. Burnside doing well holding it up in the early stages. And mistake there by
Marker.
Just those little 1%ers that Sydenham's really going to need to tighten up. Because finals rugby, you don't sometimes get that second chance. So
That's right. There's been a lot of close games this year. A lot of wins by less than 3 points, so wins or losses. So indeed, this will be interesting to see how the scrum goes. It's a pretty strong scrum.
I can expect them to put a lot of early pressure on, make this clearance as difficult as possible. Burnside to get out of here. The Burnside, they're going to be pretty impressed with how they've been going. I mean, their defence has held up well, forced a couple of errors, got that intercept try, so they'll be sitting pretty comfortable, happy to apply the pressure.
Scrum held up well too. Oh, he dropped that, he just down to his knees.
Just caught it.
Oh.
That off the side.
Yeah, the commentator's curse there. He made the first wave drop it, and the winger went off the edge of his boot.
Yeah, so Sydenham still well and truly got the territory here. Yes, they look to attack that midfield channel using the midfield. We're running out off the back. They set up. Curtis involved early. He's just so hard to contain. 1-on-1. Nickel. Happy to take it in from touch. But Burnside again, just doing enough to force the error. Another knock on for Sydenham.
Yeah, it looks like that's Felix Marker playing loose head, isn't it? It's not who was named in the team. I don't think I saw anyone come off, so he must have been on from the start.
Burnside looks to get a solid platform here. And I'm applying a bit of pressure, but Burnside does enough. They look to set midfield. Really wonky old kick, but does the job.
Yeah, so Sam Martinga isn't on because I can see the 17 there on the back of it's definitely a replacement there. But I'm not sure that he started the game. Can't see him on the sideline. Yeah, do you know where he's playing, Asher? Instead of Sam? No. Last minute injury.
Midfield early. Ball.
Nice break. Oh.
Cover defence by Burnside, but Sydenham right on attack. Forwards looking to keep it tight here. Numbers coming around for Sydenham on this blind side. Where they go. Big quick ball here. Got the advantage. And happy to rumble forward. They're going to use the advantage and play wide.
Oh.
And too strong.
I think he was pretty keen to score that. He put a lot of effort in coming over the line there. Okay.
It was good for his confidence too. A couple of little mistakes early on, but that'll do him the world of good.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess that all started with that very strong scrum, didn't it? And it bent Burnside a bit. The first scrum, Burnside stood up very well, but this time Sydenham got the forward. Now this is Roman going for the conversion.
Over, no problem. It's just, yeah, what we're saying, the accumulation of pressure. I mean, Burnside's able to hold their own for the first few scrums, but Sydenham, they stay patient. They should be able to wear this team down. They've got a big pack, a lot of experience, so.
Yeah, they are a big fullback, and
Be looking to claim this kickoff. A good clean exit. It's an awkward kick, but bounced into Barnes' hands, so good run up. Use it for greater platform again. Charge down. Back. Another good territorial game for Sydenham there. Good clearance.
By the way, let's not forget that we're here because we're getting assistance from Hornby House of Travel, which we always appreciate. So do chase them up if you're thinking of a holiday. The other thing is, if you're at home, please send us some messages on what you're thinking of the game.
Burnside sets midfield. Little kick over the top. Well cleaned up though by Johnny McNichol coming through. Good read. Like a ball in hand. Player odds in the wider channels now. Vitaladu strong. Midfield. Trying to open up a wee bit here. Oh. Characteristic mistake there, unfortunately for Sydenham. Just when they looked like they were starting to get a bit of momentum. Keeping Burnside just in the game for the moment.
Yes, they've got so many players who can sort of get past that first tackler, haven't they? Or at least send them backwards a metre or so and get over the advantage line. It's very hard for these teams to continually defend. But as you've talked about, the little mistakes are what holds you back.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's you want to take that responsibility on your shoulders as finals rugby. You want to be the guy that stands up and takes ownership, but sometimes, you know, stay in the systems, let the ball do the work, be patient, let your structures win out. No doubt looking to put another push on here. Base from Burnside as they look to play territory again. Cleaned up at the back. Nickel lifting early. Big Spain will sum it up. Of one. And then playing expansive now. They've done well to set this up. McDonald. I'll mark it down the left wing. And Johnny McNichols throws inside and Kieran backing up like he's been doing all season.
Yeah, he's the typical good halfback who comes on that inside line when there's a break and is there to score the try. He's got a lot of speed too, isn't he, Nick? He's a quick halfback.
He does, and they put him on the wing at times as well when he switches out from 9. So very versatile, and I've seen him score some great tries on the wing. So very handy player to have, and we just saw there Sydenham able to create on that counter attack, setting wide early, then being able to bring it back. Burnside short for numbers. Sydenham able to exploit. No. Strikes it well. Another 7-pointer for Sydenham. Sydenham can take a lot of confidence out of that, being prepared to throw the ball a wee bit now. Looking to catch some of this Burnside defence, which is just showing cracks.
We've got 3 cameras today. We were going to have a drone going, but we had a bit of a communication problem with that. So next year, Asher is calling out. So once he buys yet another piece of equipment, we should be away with that.
aimed just outside the 22. And Sydenham will look to rumble it forward just a wee bit, getting better kicking position here. Clay, who's going to control at the back, even get some territorial advantage like he's been doing lately, and he's gone to the air this time. Aimed by Burnside, but good chase through from Sydenham, shutting it down. Burnside happy to bring it midfield. Get up, Sydenham. Happy to put some pressure on it, rugby time, and very close, and they wouldn't have caught him either.
Yeah, he sniffed that one earlier. I saw him. He was standing probably 2 metres ahead of Tavita, and the ball came nicely.
Yeah, you read it. It did everything right. Just needed to catch it, and
yeah,
he would have been in the post. But a bit of field position here for Burnside. We'll see what they do. Whether they try and play a wee bit of territory and pin the corners and send them under pressure, or they back themselves. They got their blindside winger set up just inside 10, looking to be a threat. Burnside potentially might chance their arm here. Try and get around this big Sydenham midfield.
Interesting move.
Knock back, aim and downfield. Is that going to be a 50-22? We'll see with a touchy. Yep.
Well spotted, Nick. That was an interesting move. It was good to see Burnside being aggressive there, running. I think their centre was coming in quickly into the point of contact, and he just didn't quite get the ball.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, I don't know if on Burnside I'm going to be attacking too much in those centre channels against Sydenham. I mean, you've got two fairly sizable athletes and Davida and Curtis, so
True.
Probably chance some arms to go a wee bit wider, but Sydenham looking to control here well at the back. Back of a great 50-22 from McDonald. He goes in there, try and clear the ball. He's having off. He's got it now. Beetaladi, strong carry. Forwards get involved now, coming around the corner, lining up. Donald again. Unfortunately, the last pass again.
Yeah, Rob, not quite expecting that. Maybe a bit low. Just didn't quite go into the bread basket, and he might have been over if he caught it.
I think Sydenham can take a lot of confidence, though. Their shape's starting to come together quite well. Forwards are working well around the corner, and they're starting to catch some of this tired Burnside defence. So, all good signs for Sydenham. Just that execution, that last pass.
The poor old number 3 for Burnside looking a bit sorry for himself. He might. Is he going to come right? He saw by the look of it. I heard that comment, Asher. Asher just encouraging our people on the cameras to concentrate on a couple of players there. So we've got on today's cameras, we've got Bailey and Hayden up on the scaffold, and Leah is ducking around the place. She's got the yellow top on, and she gets the lots of the close-in angles.
Not a great shots coming through. Makes commentating so much easier when you got these great angles to work with. These great visuals.
Especially when we're 100 metres away and there's a big post in the road.
Yeah. Sydenham here really tries to put some heat on through the scrum.
I think Marker wants it if we get it, but no, good scrum.
get midfield again. They're leaving himself a wee bit of room here to exit, so get it to touch, but not a lot of the territorial gain. It's interesting they don't maybe try and have that first carry closer to the sideline to give them a wee bit better angle. Instead of putting themselves right in the midfield, it leaves them a big kick to just try and get out. So
Yeah, Sydenham came up on him quick. I think he was looking a little bit this way, but then realised that wasn't going to work very well. He skewed it off there. Nice throw into Connor Smith. Was it Broadwest?
big Spain, good carry. Get up. Let's go to work. Pass force, which the force there as Burnside managed to tie it up. Burnside happy to truck it up. Runners in tight. Comes back. Line to box kick out. Pick that into field. Be picked up and until find some space in behind. It's turned out to be a good kick. As referee brings it back. Penalty to Burnside.
Just give you some scores while this is happening. So we have Belfast 14, Shirley 0, University of Canterbury 0, Old Boys 12, Sumner 7 all with Christchurch. Haven't got a score from Marist-Albion, or it hasn't. They haven't scored yet. New Brighton 7 are leading Lincoln University 0. There'll be a great battle in the other half of this midsection. Belfast, good to see them having a few wins this year, Nick. They don't often achieve that.
No. And, you know, there's such a stalwart club around Christchurch Club Rugby, and it's great to see them getting a couple of W's. A strong carry by Tavita. Midfield and Curtis. McDonald flings it wide. Big Spain has done well to keep in for the time being. Good league drive. They set a wide channel. Look to come back with the forwards here as McNichol goes out the back. Get nice clean ball. Beatolato again looking for the offload. Does well to hold on to it. They set. They look to use the full width of the field here. Donald have to set it up about 5 in from touch, and Maka doing some forwards work there as he goes in, picks and goes. Good platform for Kieran. And I'm starting to get a wee bit of momentum now with both backs and forwards getting involved. But won themselves a penalty. Sydenham will just drive deep into Burnside territory here and no doubt back their line out and back them all.
Close up of Johnny McDonald there. Looks like he was a bit puffed after that effort.
He's been getting involved a lot.
He probably hasn't had many match days of late, has he?
And I know Johnny, whenever he gets the chance to come down and play for Sydenham, like the other Crusader boys, Cody Taylors, guys like that, I mean, they definitely take whatever opportunity they can to put on the red and blue, and it's great for club rugby to have those guys down here if they get a run. Fortunately, can't execute on that line out. Gives Burnside another chance to exit here. Haven't found touch, and we'll see what Maka does here. He's going to distribute. Ball into McNichol's hands early, and a crossfield kick, and that's worked out well. And and then Kieran McLeay again back up on the inside. That was just clinical and great execution.
And good to see, you know, with two people backing up there as well, because one wouldn't have been enough, and they're over and get the score. Kieran McLeay.
great work from Curtis McDonald to get back, work hard on that kick return, and for McNichol to see it, put the kick across, and they have to tackle Curtis McDonald out there one-on-one. It's a bit of a challenge, so great execution from Sydenham.
Yeah, the dulcet tones of Ivan just next door there. He'll be coming on at half-time, hopefully with Asher to give some comments.
There with the conversion. 21-7. Sydenham's starting to play with a fair bit more confidence. A couple of early errors, but they've looked to dust those off and really able to play an exciting brand of rugby now, using the ball wide, crossfield kicks, using to play those wide channels. So game's starting to open up a wee bit.
Centre problem now. Rare thing. Did well to catch that, looking straight into it.
Once again, create that platform if play decides to box kick. Like he will. Getting some good gains of these kicks, and they've put it up, and Zeke Spain's chasing as well. Tackle. Burnside looks to build some phases here.
Big defence there.
This is a great aggressive defensive line from Sydenham, coming out again
Another one.
and putting the pressure on. Really making it hard for Burnside to work out of here. And lucky there to get the penalty, but good defence from Sydenham, really applying a lot of pressure. Burnside look to make their way down the field. They need to start accumulating some phases here and put something together, or else this game's going to get away on them, as Sydenham's really starting to find their straps. Yep. Back through those midfield channels. Quick ball. Yeah, they've got two options here. They're going to go the same way. They can go up the middle there. Done enough to hold off. Being up just inside their own 22. Burnside still in control though. They'll shift and they'll look to runs right back into a brick wall. So doing enough though to retain possession, building the phases together, but I feel they really need to come away with some points. They set up, don't use their big forwards getting involved, and another mistake, but fortunately Burnside they had the advantage there.
Been quite a high penalty count against Sydenham. That's another thing they'll have to not be doing against any further advance in this competition.
No, I mean, fortunately we're up 21-7, but you know, you get a closer game where teams can throw over 3 points, and that's finals rugby. That can be the winning and losing of a game, so definitely discipline. These games are a good opportunity to try and tighten things up. Build that momentum going into the later rounds.
Was that a penalty or just a...
I thought it was a penalty.
Yeah, I thought he had his hand right up too.
Thought unless Burnside's opted for the
I
scrum,
wouldn't think they would be brave. They've done well for every second scrum, haven't they?
Yeah, and perhaps Sydenham also being able to apply a wee bit of pressure at line out time might be causing Burnside to second guess themselves, kicking to the line. So see what platform Burnside can give themselves to work off. It looks like they're going to attack this right-hand side. They do. Outside backs involved as they set up about 15 in from touch. And Sydenham doing well there. Over the ball, winning the penalty. Great wee bit of work there from Sydenham. Ease some pressure. Get some territory back. See what Sydenham look to do here. Whether they continue to play that expensive game as they've been doing in the last 10 to 15 minutes, or they want to keep it a bit tighter. Like they got their forwards set up just outside 10, so great win. Looked field hit. Same way. Go forward ball here. So they'll go using that full width of the field as Nickel, very strong. Set up, now looking to bring it back. Finding himself with a bit of space and running very elusively, and Sydenham managing to win a penalty, and off goes Kieran, and a chip and chase, and unlucky.
Almost the triple.
Unlucky. So that's what he can do. I mean,
Burnside guy did pretty well to beat him there. He was a winger, number 11.
Yeah, and when you're playing Kieran McLeay, you've got to be always accommodating for things like that. He will tap and go, and he's quick. So, yes, reaction time. Burnside just doing enough there, but Sydenham had the advantage. So, kicking to the corner again. Sydenham continues just to keep applying this pressure. But injury break. What do you think they're going to do here? You're going to trust them all?
Seems to me that the first time they tend to do that, and the second time they go a wee bit wider. So with Torian being pretty aggressive and fast, I think they will do that first. Depending on Carter getting a good throw, and of course, ending to throw a lot down to Connor Smith. Pretty athletic look.
Great player, Connor Smith. Very solid, great leader for the Sydenham pack as well.
Yeah, I'd imagine he enjoyed playing 6 last week because he's fast enough to play it. Not sure about one of the All Blacks today, but we'll see how he goes later tonight.
Yep. And down to the back for Sydenham, Florian Barnes.
Oh, he's close.
Great carry to Vitalado. Big midfield for Sydenham, really making inroads. It's a platform for the forwards to run off, and since they're getting pretty hungry, they look to go same way. Out the back, Johnny McNichol, and sets up his winger, Dick Spain. Comes from Sydenham, being strong, sucking in that Burnside defence, and then Sydenham having the experience just to be clinical out wide. Simple draw and pass, puts the winger over in the corner. Yeah, the sort of tries wingers love to get, not too much work involved when your insides and middles do all the work, and you can just add the stats out there. So
I think it's quite good that they didn't, persist with just charging the forwards at it the whole time. They had a couple of goes. Then as soon as that wide opportunity was there, there's enough experience in that back line with Johnny McNichol on those two big centres to know what to do. And Burnside can't afford to flag off them and go out and try and get Zek. They have to commit themselves to those big fellas coming through the middle.
Yeah, it just showed how important those dominant carries are early on. Tavita Ladu took about 2-3 guys with him, and that really forced the Burnside defence to come in.
Oh, over. I thought that kick was coming our way, but it sort of straightened up.
Did enough there to sneak in. Maintains his perfect record for the day.
He must enjoy playing this level of rugby behind a good pack like that and having such good backs he can distribute to.
Oh, he's got so much leadership inside and outside, and once you're on the playing 10 on the back of this forward pack, you're usually getting pretty go forward balls, so a good platform to work off as Sydenham looks to reclaim position just outside the 22. Look to set up for another exit here. Long carry from Barnes. They set up for another box kick. Look to bring up their chase line here as Burnside turn the favour. Puts pressure on the kick chase, and they've done well here to reclaim that Burnside. Good pressure on that kick chase. Laying things down at the ruck. Burnside look to go a bit wider, and
their turn to drop. I think it was number 1, the prop, unfortunately. Oh, you just pointed out Sam Matanga's on the field.
Probably not what you want to see as you're a Burnside front rowers trying to catch a few breaths when Matinga comes on, and he's been a dominant force this whole season for Sydenham, so he's going to no doubt add a bit here, especially around scrum time.
Yes. Very strong forwards. Sydenham Club as a whole has been known, I think, for many, many years for their front rows. Lots of very good ones have come out of here. Dave Hewitt and all sorts of Con Barrel. Lots of them.
Yeah, you got
and then get on to hookers as well. And we've got three playing Super Rugby this year, and I can think of probably 7 or 8 I'd almost rank higher than some of those guys. They've been so good. Always liked Sean Cuttance. He would play a bit with him, I think.
Yeah, Cuddy, he's a great man. Not just on the field as well, but off the field. One of the greats, old Cuddy. Great value, and he's done well with his coaching as well post rugby. He's got such vast experience, and he's just such a great team man, and gets the best out of his players. And yeah, Cuddy was definitely one of the greats, and you see with the All Blacks squad having Brodie and Cody in there.
Yeah.
It's a testament to Sydenham stocks in that department. So if you've got the number 2 jersey at Sydenham, you a lot of potential there.
Yeah, Corey Flynn missed him out. And there's been others as well. I mean, young, not the Robbie Flynn you played with, but the youngest of the 10. I always thought he was a great hooker. He was one of the great maul men. He'd go into those mauls and hit the ball. Very strong.
In a good position here, and we'll see if they look to attack this right channel. Johnny McNichol on the other side. Just looking to get the ball in his hands early. Sydenham are just happy to keep that in, and that's probably going to be. Oh, he isn't blown up. He looks to take off.
He saw the gap. Freed his arms, but
gave it to the wrong player, unfortunately. Inside kicks downfield, but well claimed.
Not called by the ref, but he called for a mark.
Yeah, it looked like he got the arm up there and did enough, but play continues. Sydenham sets up and pulled that back into the 22, so that's being down on the full.
Not sure if it's because he's blonde, but number 11 over there in Burnside seems to have had a lot of the game. He's played quite well. Always pays to be blonde. You show out.
Easy to spot too. Us commentators.
Indeed.
Burnside really needs to come away with some points now. First half draws to a close. They need to put some phases together, and it's a good carry.
There's that man again.
From the winger. They set up. They use quick ball here. Sydenham's going to do what they can to try and disrupt. Burnside prepare to slow things down a wee bit and just rumble it forward, work towards the post. Burnside has to be careful they don't get held up here.
Oh, we've lost our...
Burnside still accumulating the phases, but Sydenham's doing well here. They're standing strong. Body height around their breakdown. Proving very hard to penetrate through. Max getting involved, taking some load off the forwards, but still unable as they go through and very close to their try line. And do enough there. Burnside managing to put enough phases together. Eventually caught Sydenham shorter numbers down this right hand side. Very important try there for Burnside, I think, in a test as this match goes on.
Well, it's just enough to get them back in the game, isn't it, for the second half? Sort of a 28-7 is a bit of a uphill task, but 28-14 doesn't sound nearly as bad if they manage to kick this one.
We've also seen in this competition over the last few weeks, teams are able to score a couple of quick tries, so just to be within 2 tries makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, our clock just runs continually, so there has been a few injuries, but it's probably pretty close to half-time now, I think.
Put that one through, and 28-14 going into half.
Might be another minute to go, is there? Kieran's talking about the try to the ref. And there was some time to play.
McDonald, quite deep here, put a bit of pressure on. Coming around, about the quick throw-in, thinks better of it. Let Sydenham forwards go to work. See what Sydenham decided to do here. Pretty good attacking position just inside their own half. Is good line out take. The loose forwards to carry up in the middle again. Looking to bring it back the other way. Bit breaking down unfortunately, but cleaned up. Eno goes back. Start again. They look go through the midfield.
See him doing a wee run there. In the Tinger.
Get up again. Burnside, if they can come away with.
No oh no, he's not. Going to do a quick one.
They're a wee bit far out to have a shot, but he's backing himself. This will be a good kick.
Yeah, I think you may underestimate. There's a little bit of wind there. Might be a long range. He's not the biggest looking guy from this distance, but we are over the halfway line.
Yeah, so we're looking about 44 metres, potentially on the angle, but Burnside manages to close this up, get 17 points on the board going into the break. Be a good mental one for them. But he has to kick it first, and it's by no means an easy task.
Put it up high. Curling.
So McNichol looks to bring it out, and he's found himself a bit of space here, and he's done well. It's a great return.
And keep attacking too.
Open side, no one chasing, however, but
He might kick it out. Oh, he's coming back. Oh,
downfield, is it aimed? They'll look to shift this. There could be a bit of opportunity on this far side as they look to get across. They do enough to get it across the touchline for half time.
all right. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. It's Nick Thomson and I, and we're going to see if we can find someone else to have a word, and that we will just grab those two people in a moment. Okay, so we've managed to get Ivan Thompson into the seat for giving some comments, and Asher will come in a moment. But Ivan, what are your general comments on the half so far?
Well, I think Sydenham are a bit disappointed with their first half performance, even though, say, they got 28 points and some really well worked tries. They let Burnside in rather easily on two occasions, and they've probably perhaps on attack, Sydenham have just haven't quite finished a couple of moves off. They're definitely dominant. You've got to give credit to Burnside for hanging in there, and when they make these incursions into the Sydenham half, they do come up with results. So credit to Burnside, and if they score first in the second half, then it's going to be a very interesting contest indeed.
Absolutely. Asher Olliver here. Interesting contest indeed, although how good is it to see Sydenham, well, in my opinion, being so dominant, playing in the right end of the field and doing some really creative tries. I'm loving it.
Oh, yeah. Look, those tries were fantastic. Especially, I think it was the third one that where Mick Nickel crossed the ball, kicked the ball over. And it was picked up. Yeah. And look, I mean, they're carrying on from last week against Linwood. And it's really disappointing in a way that Sydenham didn't quite make the top four. They lost a couple of games in the last, seconds against University, I think, and Sumner. And had they won those games, they'd have been where they should be in the top four. So, look, if they manage to get past this game, anything can happen in the playoffs. And providing that they don't suffer any injuries or that kind of thing, I'd still put money on Sydenham winning this thing because you can never write them off.
Although, if we think back to, it was round 5, I believe. I can check my records. We've last versed Burnside, and they did score 4 or 5 tries in the second half. It was round 6, sorry. I lie, round 6. And they were awesome in the second half. So I'm not going to write them off, but yeah, our backs, outstanding. J-Max on the field. Definitely one of my favourite Sydenham players of all time. Just behind probably Nick Thomson.
Sass is a legend, isn't he? Yeah. Sass, I mean, an interesting player. I watched him for quite a while, and he had this knack of kind of keeping out of work until the work came along to him, sort of thing, and managed to then put some good skills together and feature. But yeah, he reminded me of a of a brother of mine who was an Olympic hockey player who basically did the same thing, who did minimum effort for maximum output. And but Nick, he's yeah, he can't. I can say what I like now because he can't get back. But Nick, no, let's coming back to Johnny Mack.
No, wait, one more thing about Nick though. I saw him pick a guy up. It was probably like he carried him 5 meters and sort of threw him out one time. It was probably my favourite move I saw. It was like a wrestling move.
Yeah. Well, he was versatile in his moves. He
as well as fending, tackling, running, and all that stuff. Shall we have a quick look around the grounds and just see what's going on out there? What do you think about, let's look at the top teams here. University are down 20-0 at home to Old Boys.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised.
Oh dear.
Yeah, look, I don't know what the side, University are one of these, sides that, if they lose some of their players, is it University holidays or something? I don't know. Students go back home and they can be quite decimating for a side. I mean, I know in cricket, for example, us in Burnside, we lose our students over the summer, and it just makes a huge difference to performance. I'd imagine there's something like that happen, but obviously Old Boys are playing well, and they deserve the credit. Now Belfast, Sumner beating Christchurch just, I think.
No, they're down 5.
Okay. So that's a reasonably close game. Belfast, I think they're who we got?
26-3 to Belfast over Shirley.
Yeah, well, Shirley they're struggling this season, so probably not unexpected. Although I thought Shirley, against Belfast may have performed a little bit better. We got Uni against High School Old Boys.
Hang on, Sydenham on the attack here. Curtis McDonald down the far wing. We're in the second half.
Well, I better sort of focus back here again. That went really quick, guys. I'll pass you back to Nick Thomson. Just a minute.
And just while you're still with me, big fend by Matinga. Get off me. I just want to say a couple more things. Curtis McDonald, you can't keep him down. He's done a wrestling move on him. Mucker's over.
Mucker.
It's a try.
And the man who started that whole movement, that was a great take from Mucker to go up and get the ball. And that set that whole flow there for Sydenham as he is able to finish off. But just some big carries down there, short side, and Sydenham's size and power just proving too much for Burnside at the moment. And that's exactly the way they would want to start coming out of after half-time. Point to prove. They would have known they had a few things to tighten up at half-time. They would have talked about it, and coaches would have been on top of it. And yeah, that's just a great indication there of Sydenham understanding that, there's still a job to do.
Yeah, that's a statement coming out of the second half. And I was giving Burnside their flowers at half time, but this is not the start they wanted. Here comes Roman with the conversion. Roman Keno.
Got enough on it. He
It's
got it,
beauty.
and he keeps his perfect record. Great strike from out wide.
It's awesome. Looks like our camera team had just come back from break as well, so apologies for any creative photos there. We have finally got an update on the Linwood Marist Albion score at Ngā Marist Albion are down 10-17.
Linwood, as we saw last year, there's still a wee bit of time to go in the season, and if they start hitting their straps later on, Linwood's always going to be thereabouts.
Yeah.
Looks to kick down midfield, and Burnside loses to pick this one back. And unfortunately, Hunter cannot regather that. A bit of a let-off there for Burnside.
That's the lookalike of Hunter, Roman.
That was Roman, sorry.
Hey, just while we're here, I just want to say massive thank you to everyone who's watching the live stream this year, everyone who has made an account and subscribed. It's all helping. Our target is to get to 500 or more subscribers, and then you start getting like royalties from YouTube and things like that, and we just want to put that back into the club to do more stuff like this. We have a small team of volunteers who all love doing this. A lot of them say like broadcasting school or wanting to go to broadcasting school, do sport and get involved. Great scrum from Sydenham, by the way. And yeah, we couldn't do it without the support, the likes, the comments. So just a comment from Mikey. Don't know which team you're supporting, but I think it could be Sydenham. That's how you come out of the gates, says Mikey. We want more comments like that. Send them through. That's the stuff that we do it for. We love the feedback and the interaction. I get a lot out of it. I think this is the most exciting thing you could do on a Saturday is come down. It's free. It's at your local park, and it's people you know. I'm giving it everything.
Oh, you're doing a great job, Asher, and for club rugby, for people to have this live stream, this opportunity to watch club rugby like this in this format, it's a professional setup. So
we're just by one chord at a time. That's pretty much what I've been doing. So if anyone's looking to do it themselves,
oh yeah, but for people to have the luxury to watch, quality club rugby in their own homes or wherever they are, streaming on their phones, I mean, it is a luxury, and it's a testament to you and the setup you've got going on, because I know it hasn't happened overnight. There's been a lot of work that's gone into this and the team you've built. So,
yeah. Speaking of people at home, I believe we've got John Arbuckle down in Dunedin. So shout out to John Arbuckle. I think he's there to watch the All Blacks.
Very good. He's always a prominent figure, especially when there's a blazer presentation. The Zambucas. It's a Buckle special.
That's with the wooden tray, eh?
That is.
Oh, shout out to Nikki Veely, who sent me a Facebook message. She's watching it on her TV at home. Nikki, send us in some comments, all right? She says YouTube Live top quality. That's great. Who else we got? Send them in. I got to get off this microphone. Dad? Take over this for me.
As Burnside looks to ease some pressure, but Sydenham will have the throw in just outside the 22 here. So another great attacking opportunity for Sydenham as they set up. Look to get their big forwards rolling again.
Some nice sunlight out there now, Nick. We'll be drying the ball a bit too.
It is. Wind a wee bit prominent, but overall still very good conditions. Sydenham takes this in. Starting to get a good roll on here as they go deep into Burnside territory. Controlled well by McClay at the back. As he's going in there to try and get it, but Burnside looks like they've gone in and done enough to disrupt, and
they've taken it.
Good defence there. The missed opportunity from Sydenham, but looks to throw into McNichol on the counter attack. Nickel going to back himself around the outside, as he's done many a time on this park. Burnside doing enough to get across, and a high tackle, which gives Sydenham another opportunity to really kick to the line.
And he showed he's still got speed, Johnny, as he ran across there.
That's a sight many Sydenham fans have seen over the years of McNichol running across the Sydenham field. So great to see him back out there. Great for him to be around these younger players, and these younger guys will be just learning so much off him and his experience.
Row getting ready to go. Elroy Macomber, great young player in the front row there. He would have learned a lot playing many senior starting mini games this year. Probably wasn't expecting to do that with Ollie Ryan going north.
Yes.
He's come in. And he's got the size, hasn't he?
He does. He's a big boy. Close up of J-Mac there, looking dangerous.
Wonder how many games he played in Wales in those dark, in the old days when you used to watch Wales tests. It got dark at about 4 o'clock, and still played a few games in the dark valleys of Wales.
Those northern hemisphere temperatures, they do tend to drop quite a bit as well, so I'm sure he's quite happy being back down at Sydenham Park here. As Burnside will make some inroads through the middle. And Sydenham has done very well. And like I was saying before, it's very tricky sometimes to attack that part of the field with Sydenham because they've got such big midfielders and so good at defending over the ball.
Yeah, Spain was in there helping as well, so they quickly got on two defenders onto the one attacker, and he was going to go one way there. There's a nice kick. Roman, I think.
Sydenham would be looking to make amends for their last time they were down here, where they unfortunately had their ball disrupted by Burnside, so for them to be a wee bit more clinical this time, control that ball at the back, get it to the back earlier.
But Elroy, just seeing Sam run across there, Sam, as you were talking about earlier, he does seem to make a difference. He's a strong prop in Martinga.
And just that extra size as well. Burnside have done well to hold this for the time being, but I think Sydenham's
LIVESTREAM this through the middle, really.
very strong, impossible to stop, and Sydenham, that's just their dominance again. Game's starting to open up a wee bit now. I'd look Sydenham to probably start bringing on some of their bench. Looks like Max Hughes is already on. He's taking goal-kicking duties, so...
Logan probably having a bit of a rest today. A lot of games in a row.
Yes.
Moon's come out.
You
can actually see up there.
A bit of expectation on Max here, as the goal-kicking record's been pretty good today.
Yes.
So we'd like to keep it at 100%, please, Max. Easiest of kicks, in and from touch. Right, and he continues that perfect record. Great kick. Bit of a luxury when you can bring on that club rugby Max Hughes, who's been one of the dominant nines over the last few seasons.
So 40-7 now.
Kicking deep. Barnes looking to bring it back.
He was going to kick it there for a moment.
He probably can. He's a man of many talents, Dorian Barnes. Go back to Hughes, who's happy to relieve some pressure. Give his forwards a break. Pressure back on Burnside to try and win their line-out ball. Has been quite challenging at times today for them. So go to the front, off the top. And probably been a wee bit audacious there, Burnside, trying to get their extra ball away, which gives possession straight back to Sydenham.
Max using some foot movement there.
Afraid to take the line, and Torian Barnes ranging out wide there. Keep going the same way. Ronald well contained on this occasion. And turn the ball over. We'll see if Burnside decide to chance their arm here, ball in hand, but good defence out on the fringes there from Sydenham. Big Spain reliable as always. Burnside lean in, Give a loose pass there. They tidy up. Them over the ball here. Inside.
Oh, I thought it was a little bit offside there from Keanu. Caught just going a wee bit quick.
Inside need to get some good territorial gain on this penalty kick and get right into Sydenham territory, and they pick up about 10 metres there.
Asher's run off down the stairs. I think he must be taking a spare battery to one of the cameras. Only problem with 3 or 4 cameras, you need 3 or 4 batteries getting exchanged all the time.
That's the luxury of having all these good camera angles for the viewers back home to look at.
Keanu's come off. Ends on hips. Still disagreeing with the ref about that offside call.
A good day at the office for Keanu. Done his job, made a good foundation here. Play. Looks to kick deep and kick that one out on the full, unfortunately. Idea was right, just the execution a wee bit off. And
Very quick run.
gone straight to the front and was effective.
What was that? Good tackle, Sydenham. Someone saw the danger coming.
Forced the error as well. Nothing was a good shot in the midfield. Once again, Sydenham doing enough to disrupt and giving themselves a good opportunity here to attack midfield, and you'd back them to keep the ball in hand here. Or has got comfortable enough that they can start using to implement a few of these things they do at trainings and see if a few things can come off for them. Now there's a wee bit less scoreboard pressure, so Johnny McNichol beating up with Zeke Spain.
And that's Jacob Tuasani's come on for Josh Podmore. And Lachlan Harris Gardner into that hooker position.
Couple of very handy replacements there.
Yeah, both of smaller size but pretty vigorous players, so keep your eye on those two as they tear about the field for the rest of the half.
Very mobile.
Oh, and now got Vita Latu showing on the screen. Playing yet another good game. He's really played well in the latter half of the season, I think.
His combination there with Curtis McDonald in the midfield, it'd have to be the top midfield pairing in Christchurch Club Rugby.
That's right. I remember seeing him here one day when Ash was here very early and he was out there training. I thought he was getting ready for the game, but he was actually training when he was still injured out here on Sydenham Park.
Play, penalty, takes off, brought back. But out, we'll look to pick this outside territory. Max Hughes. Use anyone he can.
Ryan running forward, giving some instructions. Rob Brocklehurst having a chat with him. So let's see how Auckland's first throw in goes here.
Scrappy, but the play goes back, tidies up. Looks for Lata in the midfield, who will use Maka.
That was a good move, wasn't it?
Get rid of a couple of defenders and a good go forward ball. And
be a penalty is offside, I think, there.
Penalty count starting to creep up a wee bit for Burnside.
Oh, sorry.
Well, the referee is going to have a talk to the captain.
A big bit of dominance there, and that was pretty intentional. We can't have any more of that. I know you haven't had a real trend of them, but that was really silly, that one.
Good support from Marker in that little run there. Came onto the ball very quickly and made 10 metres.
Yeah, great to have a big winger there just to hand it off to when you need
When you're in trouble.
set a target. There's not many better than Maka to do that, so with them taking play down towards just inside their 22.
Right. So our ref Mike tells us that he was telling Burnside that was an intentional disruption there, so he was giving them a bit of a hurry up.
The benefits of having refs mic'd up with this technology, you know, we get all the inside information. So Burnside done enough to get this, but Maka misjudges that, unfortunately.
Yes, Asher's supporting Maka's involvement. He has been well involved in this game. Just,
Yeah, I mean, he's
just
so
timed
much.
that one a little bit.
Yeah, the take he took before off the high ball was exceptional. That created the whole try. So he is a confidence player, Maka, and once he gets going, he's not many better than him around.
Change at fullback. Yeah, Johnny just run off, and Kieran, is he going on the wing or is he going off? Pulling out his mouth guard, I think. So he probably deserves a bit of time off. Most times he's gone off, he's gone into another position.
Yeah, he deserves a rest today.
And let's see how Logan Williams goes today, whether we'll make a bit of space for his speed.
Good opportunity for Logan to come on because the game has opened up a wee bit and going to be tested early on. That's a great little kick from Burnside as they go wide.
Here's our blonde winger again. Got some pace.
He is.
Well played.
It was actually a pretty tough start for Logan to come on because they put that chip kick right on the money.
Yeah. Yep.
And there was nothing that anyone could really do about it. It was just great execution from Burnside. And then a good ball wide. Well finished off in the corner, but
Yeah, I'd say when they look back at the Burnside have not had some good games lately, and they're playing a strong Sydenham team here, but they are showing a bit of fight, and get another try on the board. Good on them. Well educated.
Sydenham also don't want to have too much momentum disrupted when they bring on their bench either. They need to continue this rhythm that the starters have laid the foundation. Up to the Sydenham's bench to come in and make sure the standard remains where it needs to be.
It was close, but not over. Yeah, Sydenham have lost a couple of games in the last minute, so I'm sure the coaches have talked about that a fair bit. Still a fair bit of play after the game, after the second half still to go. They don't want to lose a couple of quick tries that Asher was mentioning at half time that they laid on Sydenham last time.
No, I think a lot of it's just being able to be mentally tough enough to play the 80 minutes. Because we've seen a lot of these games do come down to even 80, 81, 82 minutes. Some of these other games that we've seen, so keeping mentally switched on. Burnside looks to kick themselves out of trouble. Logan doesn't know, and unfortunately drops that, and Burnside have the advantage. Come back and play the knock on. A bit of miscommunication there between Logan and Big Spain at the back. I'm looking forward to seeing Logan get some space. He's one of the quicker guys in the competition, and we've seen him score some great tries already, so this game is really a lot of opportunities for him to, showcase his speed.
Having a few comments come in. So OEM Audio is watching from Dunedin. Noki says, let's go Sydenham. And Mikey says, Mike on the ref too. Fancy. Thank you, Mikey, for appreciating Asher's efforts there. We were supposed to have a drone today too, but that sort of dropped out this week.
Burnside looking to accumulate some phases in centre field. Bring it back. Burnside going to have to be very efficient clinical around these rucks to make sure they don't let any Sydenham players get on over the top. They're doing well so far, and a great little kick. And then another kick.
Oh.
Very creative from Burnside there.
Oh.
Some of these chip kicks are proving quite hard for Sydenham to clean up, and Burnside really managing to get down the right end of the field here through some creativity. And
yes, I think Burnside realised that blonde winger is quick, and they're using him there. He also tried to do a miracle pass back infield, which he almost got the touch judge to agree with him, but he put his flag up high. Richard Yu having a go.
good carry, solid carry in midfield. Let's see where they look to clear this out from. Is Max Hughes. He's going to have to kick this long way in field, and Max play up for about 22. Burnside still with a good opportunity to attack. But Rate's throwing the ball in now. Burnside look to go towards the back of the line out.
Oh, looked reasonable throw, but he just missed it.
It's gone backwards, and Burnside coming back the short side.
Good tackle Connor Smith there. Oh, he penalised for something. Not rolling away was the call from the ref.
Getting stuck there. Burnside will look to take play the 5 metre line. Another great opportunity if they can get their line out right. They do enough to get it, and he's gone up the middle. Very close, and if Burnside can get their forwards working now around the corner. And he's done enough to get through there, and he's reached over and put Burnside on the board again.
I think that was number 5, I think. And Burnside scored that with a big long reach. And the dreaded comeback by the opposition is happening again here at Sydenham Park.
Yeah, and like I was saying before, I mean, it's really up to the Sydenham bench to make sure they continue this momentum that the starters have laid that foundation. So hopefully they can regroup here, and Burnside will be looking to take advantage of those momentum too. Burnside's actually been doing some pretty creative bit of play.
Over.
Great kick.
So it takes him up to 19 now.
Donald that's underway. It's very shallow.
Very shallow.
Too shallow. 8 metres shallow, or we need to go 10 metres shallow. So Burnside now with another opportunity. See what creativity they can come up with now, but both sides of the field to work with. And
That was the right kick off that time, Nick, given that they're coming back a bit. Should he have gone down deep?
yeah, I think I like when Sydenham kick deep into territory and back their defence to keep that pressure on. Force Burnside to hurry their exit. Now, Burnside have prime opportunity, centre field scrum on halfway to get their backs, see what they can do. The backs have showed they can be quite dangerous at times, Burnside today, so see how Sydenham defends this. Set. Burnside potentially looking to go the right-hand side of the field here.
Sydenham with the new halfback on, Silas Stouty.
They're going to go to the right-hand side, and they've just thrown that out of bounds. Max Hughes looks to throw quick, and is not allowed to.
So the score has been changed slightly to 42 for Sydenham, not 40. Almost a conversion getting added on there somewhere. So we're so far away from the far corner we can't read what the other board says. Out in the other part of the world, it's 24 all between Linwood and Marist Albion. If a team loses there, I'm not sure if we will play them if we win.
And Jacob can carry up the middle there. And then looking to assert some dominance as they get round the corner. Brings phases together, and Max Hughes calling for it, and he's faked a kick, sided against it, and handed off to Vidalado, who's strong enough to hold a couple of defenders while the ball gets to him. Donald doing some strong work down that inside channel. A great tip on there by Connor Smith. Rob found himself in a whole lot of room and didn't make inroads. About 10 metres out. Big Spain.
Advantage in them.
They'll look to shift Torian. Offload.
Pass.
And he has got the try.
Oh, is that Lachlan Harris starting our scores? Well done, Lachlan.
Good try. That all started from Connor Smith working well with the lock pairings there. Putting Rob in a hole up the middle of the field and Sydenham holding on to possession. Torian Barnes, a couple of strong runs, and reserve hooker getting over just beside the posts.
Notice the trees in the background. I think 2 weeks ago there was a lot of leaves still on those trees, and they've all gone now. In the depths of winter we are. Asher's doing all sorts of strange moves in here. Asher's waving out the window. Those of you who Nick tries to wave to his fans. Oh, it's over. I thought you were telling us off for doing something wrong, Asher.
A couple more points on, and Burnside gets us underway again. Quite a low kick. And
another low kick.
Also another very low kick. Sydenham tidies that up. See what they look to do here is that these pods are starting to become really effective for Sydenham. And charge down. These wee tip-on passes here for Sydenham are starting to make good inroads in this Burnside defence, and throwing that right back into someone. A chip and chase from here's Logan in a bit of space. Pick that into field. See if the two wingers will link up here.
One boy wants it, but his fullback's not going to give it to him. You're a bit annoyed he has to join a ruck instead.
They've done well there because they really capitalised down that short side and put it through again. Donald getting back. Max Hughes gets away to Zeke Spain and
he gets it out. It was a bit messy, wasn't it? Quite a bit of that play.
Burnside doing well to exploit an opportunity down that short side. Putting another kick through, which is
it's causing us trouble, isn't it?
It is causing us a wee bit of trouble.
Right, safe option. Oh, big tackle from Sydenham there. They're starting now, is it?
Burnside set up about 5 in front. Get their forwards involved. Looking for an inside ball, and he's flicked it out the back. It was a great offload. Burnside managing to retain possession for the time being, and they've got a wee bit of room to work with out on that far side. That pass is very low and difficult to handle. Sydenham back for a knock on earlier. Burnside another attacking opportunity.
Brougham Street trees shadows right out past the 22 now. Crowd's a bit smaller than we've had this year because there's been no other games on Park today, so no support from Div 2. Well, there may be some here, but usually quite a few leftovers. Burnside attack will probably want to hold the scrum, and Sydenham will be trying to disrupt this one, I'd imagine.
They're going to come this left-hand side. Referee gets in the way. Then another little knock on there from Sydenham, which gives Burnside another opportunity. Burnside really persisting with these little kicks through and behind. I think that's the best way they can see them. They can penetrate the Sydenham defence. See what Sydenham up with here on defence is a good prime opportunity for Burnside to attack. If Burnside try and run a set-piece move here, Sydenham really putting a lot of pressure on the scrum. Burnside go out the back. Betaladu making the tackle. So bring it back through their pods. You can get some phases together and it's scrappy again. Burnside doing well to hold on. Sydenham getting over the ball and illegally. Quick tap and go from Burnside here as they look to speed things up a wee bit. Knock that forward, so Sydenham will get the ball back.
Well, Burnside are getting a lot of possession and position at the moment, aren't they? Really putting the pressure on Sydenham. So this will be an interesting clear out, see what they do here.
Yeah, I'd say straight to Max Hughes early on to relieve some of this pressure and get Sydenham down the right end of the field. Burnside have dropped their back three. So potentially with the firepower Sydenham have here, the chance their arm to run this out. So see what Max Hughes comes up with. There's a fair amount of space, especially on this close side to where we can see. Maybe an opportunity for Zeke Spain. Set the scrum again. Slowing down a wee bit, potentially the forward's starting to get a wee bit tired later on in the game. I'd love to see Curtis McDonald get that ball in his hands quickly here so he can sum up his options, and Max Hughes will shift. And there it is. Zeke Spain. And JT does well. Getting a good Lucy following up afterwards. And them doing well to retain possession. And Torian Barnes proving a handful coming up the middle. Max Hughes looking dangerous. He set up, but Burnside doing well here to disrupt. And
We're just going to start the scrum. That wasn't. Not quite. You know what I mean? They reckon. Yeah.
Got his leg again, isn't he?
hopefully just take a precautionary rest.
Lying back a little bit, not a good sign. Remember, he was out most of last year, wasn't he? And then he,
Yes, he's
maybe even more than a year. He's been out for a long time.
yeah, he's had to come back from a lot. Testament to his character, because you know he has spent a lot of times on the sideline. But
if someone goes, say if they make a break, we've got to walk this
decision, guys. Okay. Stop, Rich.
caution.
Screen from Phil Falter. Thank you for your work. Nice to see local games on screen help those who are unable to travel, and that's always the case. Or people who are a bit ill or whatever, or got people at home they've got to look after. It's good to be able to watch some rugby. And Premier grade here in Canterbury is of a high standard in my view. Interesting games. Always. So Johnny McNichol has come on. Needed someone good to replace Zeke Spain. But must seeing Zeke go off, did he look like the leg in one spot?
He was able to walk off on his own. So hopefully, this minor physique. He is an important part of this Sydenham backline. He proved himself out there today.
Alder and McNichol talking to each other a lot. Are they hoping to get the ball this way, or are they foxing? No, they're going open side. Oh,
Over shot there. Davida a wee bit. And Burnside has got a bit of opportunity here, but and gets rid of one. And a bit messy at the back. Referee will bring it back. And knock on.
couple of minutes left at the most, probably. Not sure if we've got anyone watching from overseas. Usually have a couple of Sydenham supporters travelling around Fiji or somewhere. Oh, Paula is in Greece. That's very nice for Paula, but Paula deserves that because she helps us with our live stream. So well done, Paula. So again, as I said earlier in the game, any travel needs, get to the team in their Hornby House of Travel. And she'll be able to tell you all about Greece. I think she was Italy last time, wasn't it, Asher? So she'll know the latest and the best places to go.
And Burnside doing enough. Oh, and Logan
Here we go.
takes it off.
Will they catch him?
They will not catch him. That is all over. And Sydenham
Bit of a dive into the nice soft turf.
pulled that one back after they gave Burnside one for the first half. So once Logan catches the ball open field, there's not too many people who can catch him. He's going to be given the goal kicking duties.
It might be the end of the game, the way the Sydenham guys have come back there. Or maybe not. Maybe they're still 10 metres back, I suppose. Did that go over?
That went over.
And it
brings
is
up 50.
full time, we think. Asher is certain that it's full time, so we'll take his view on that. And he's done very well to get the full time marker up there, which I always forget. So, well, Nick, that was an interesting game. Sydenham probably not quite as strong in the second half. They had to defend a lot, but maybe that's good practice. What's coming up?
I mean, end of the day, it's finals rugby. You just got to do what you got to do to win, and Sydenham can take a lot of learnings out of that as well. I mean, it was great to get the win, but always good to hit the training fields on Tuesdays and Thursdays with a few work-ons. So
Yes.
first and foremost, job completed. Got to be happy with that. Celebrate a big scoreline. A lot of good tries ran in there, and just good chance to tighten up a couple of extra things at trainings and perhaps the discipline as well, tighten up the penalties, and these are all things the coaches will analyse and report back to the team, and yeah, good building blocks for next week.
Now, from your vast experience in the forwards, Nick, what did you think of the tight forwards today?
I think once their pods started working well in their units, I mean, we saw a couple of those wee tip balls where their shape was starting to create some space in the middle there. Guys like Connor, that lock pairing working with Rob, there's a lot of opportunities. Obviously, Tori and Barnes very strong as always. And once we're able to get our shape and get those bigger ball carriers running, especially at the Burnside backs, there was a lot of go forward. So definitely a lot of positives come out of Sydenham's play, both backs and forwards. So
yeah, loose forwards are sort of dominated by Torian with those runs up the guts. But when you look closely, you usually see that Mr. Podmore is in there cleaning out at the rucks, doing the hard stuff with Fletcher Dew as well in the headgear today.
Complimenting Torian well and knowing their roles, knowing that if they're not as much of a ball carrier, then they're going to be on hand to clean those rucks, secure that ball so that can set the Sydenham backs going for those second, third, fourth phases.
Kieran at halfback, 2 tries and generally good game, good kicking game. Roman, pretty good game, first 5 I thought.
Yeah, Roman just controlling as he has to do. Just keep it simple. He's got enough experience inside him, outside him, and he just has to steer that ship. So,
and our highly capable midfield, of course, good again today.
Yeah, well, like I was saying before, that Sydenham midfield, there wouldn't be probably a better midfield than Christchurch Club Rugby, and Curtis McDonald always a standout player, and then Tavita Ladu bringing his vast experience and athleticism, and those two boys just steer the ship, create a platform, and gives guys like Maka, Zek Spain, Johnny McNichol, Logan, gives them that foundation to work with. So yeah, I think everyone complementing each other well out there today. And
yep. And I think Asher's giving a signal, so we'll just finish with the back three where you've played it a lot. Nick, again, good play from those guys.
Yeah, just doing their job and working well off what the rest of the team's created. A couple of good tries, finished out wide. And yeah, overall I'll be pretty happy. I mean, some of that, maybe that kick defence, we can tighten that up at training a wee bit. But apart from that, pretty sound and all good signs moving to the next round of the competition.
All right, we're going to end there. Thanks, Nick Thompson. Thanks for your dad helping at halftime there with some comments on you. And we'll send Asher over to pull the cameras down. And this is Neil Oliver saying goodbye from Sydenham Park. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Bye-bye.